Hello and welcome to round 9 of the GT World Challenge Season 3, powered by the Simpit ACC. I'm your host M.Vowles. Today, obviously it is round 9, as I said. We currently have 5 cars out on track. Obviously there's a few drivers who are not ready to make today, one who's already in the chat, Mr. Candy Step. But we do have both our lady drivers with us today. We have Celine, Natalie's here as well. Heiko Sherman's here, Cal L for 420 minutes for, and Jaroslav Galkov is here as well. So we'll make our way over to the track and see how everyone's getting on in free practice. Joe instantly coming in saying, "No Ken, no watch, you're not driving, get in." Hi guys, today we've got a few different camera angles again, so we have a conventional onboard camera, sleek onboard. We have the rear view camera from that. Like it with one of our door cams. We also have this camera, this one will be for so it should be a very, very tight race today, considering we are at Monza. We're looking around the 1:58 possibly for lap times today. GT3 times here are normally in the 1:46s, 1:47s for the top esports drivers. For the average driver, you're still looking at about a 1:58 to 1:59. Sometimes pushing that 150, 4:59, sorry, depending on the track conditions. But today the track temps are nice and cool. It's only 20 degrees air temp, 22 degrees track temp, so should be on the faster pace of the lap times today. The track should be getting better as the race goes. The weekend goes on. As in game, we are on a Saturday at 7 PM. So these conditions, as they seem right now, should be the same temperatures and weather as when the race starts, unless we get rain. So there goes Natalie with a 1:58.9, roughly bang on the times that I was looking for today. So if anyone special you want to have a look at today, let me know, or click on board, have a look. We currently have all cars out on track. So we have Celine, which currently in P2. She is our current point standards. I'm not going to go study about the point standards. I'll bring them up for you quickly. So you can see Celine Witcher on 179 points. Heiko Sherman on 147. So I think if one more big points gap here from Celine should be able to take the win for the season. Jaroslav Galkov in third with 106. Ken Step on 67 points, Stephen McCaffrey on 64 points, Natalie Lee on 55 points. She might be able to catch you, Ken, without you being here today. Cal Al, he's here, he's on 30 points in his Mercedes. Alex Lafros, he's not here today, unfortunately. He's on 28 points. Callum McLeod, Chris Generali both on 10 points. Rennie Garcia, who's on 8 points. Wout van Murik, who is on 6 points. Devon Booth and Ola Snarkvist, the only two who have not been able to make any races so far this season, both on 0 points. But I do believe that Heiko Sherman, oh, he is there, sorry, I thought he might have disconnected. He was just sat on the exit of the pits, on the back straight. Discord to see what's going on in the sim racing. A few other people who are live as well. So currently the one to beat is Natalie Lee with a 1:58.6, Celine Rich on a 1:59.8, so nearly a second gap there. Actually, just over a second gap in these conditions. We'll bring out their personal best time. So you can see Jaroslav hasn't got a valid lap time in. That's why his time is at 3:11. I think he's only just done an out lap, then come back in just to get those tyres. Because they want to make sure that the tyre pressures are correct for today, especially with the cooling temperatures in the evening. During the pit stops, they may need to come up by 1 psi. 0.1 psi, sorry, not a whole psi. If they come up by a whole psi, they definitely will be burning out these tyres. Count out in the Mercedes, and a little showing the yellow flag units, unfortunately. So guys, as I was saying beforehand in the other streams, GT European, or is this championship's going to be renamed, is open for sign-ups. Already have one driver signed up, Mr. Alex Lafros. He's said that he's signing up, and he is going into the Mercedes GT3 car. So he's sticking with the Mercedes family. Also, our GT America series that will be running 6 hours after this stream starts. 6 hours from then is when the GT America will start up as well, running the exact same days. So 6 hours races apart from each other. So we'll try to congeal all of it into one. That series I'm going to be racing myself, and all 3 Mercedes have been already selected in it. So you have myself in the Mercedes, Cal L, who's here today in the Mercedes as well in the GT4 class, and Mr. Nick Batista, also known as TPSL Sport in the chat, when he shows up. He is also jumping out of the Audi. He's also driving the Mercedes. So if you do want to sign up and you are just not in our Discord channel, make sure to jump into the Discord, because to sign up on Sim Racing GP, you will have to join through the entry codes that are on the sites. It's in our Discord, so that's to make sure that you are going to be able to take part in the Discord voice channels that you have to be involved in. It is part of the rulebook, and that is so at the end of the race I can drag the race winner into the green room, and then when I'm ready to bring up for an interview at the end of the race, I can just bring you over, have a little interview with you. And we also will be doing the same for our champions as well. So next season, all drivers for all events will need to be in voice channel. We are trying to get people to do the GT America stream, as I have said before. I am going to be talking with the guys from Pits.tv, and hopefully we'll be able to do something together to have them broadcast our American League for you. So we've seen Jaroslav Galkov has put a lap time in now of a 1:59. No, sorry, a 1:59.6.0. I'm so used to doing GT3 times around here, so time's kind of embedded in my head, so I do apologise. So Heiko Sherman, he's just come around the parabolic, and Natalie puts on new fastest lap in of a 1:58.542. Dropping himself there, staying into 4th though, but with a valid time now of 1:59.3. Do expect that Porsche to gain a little bit more speed here, but the KTM is a very slippy car. Heiko goes a little bit deep there into turn 1, brings it to a stop. That KTM is a very slippery car though, very skinny wheels in this car, so it does have a little slide. Joseph, with the little facts about Heiko. I was speaking to Heiko just before we went live. He is feeling very unwell. He is extremely tired. He said he'd rather be in bed, sound asleep right now, than racing. So hope he feels a little bit better, just enough so that he can get through today's race. So 1 minute to go, free practice. Coming across the line. Another new fastest time of 1:58.010. Jaroslav responding on 1:58.6, so he's catching up some time now as well. Cal is... I think everyone's diving off the track right now, so Cal is in the pit lane. And everyone who is still outstanding on lap times are bringing them back to the pits. So Heiko Sherman is the only one who's out on track. His lap time is not going to count though, it is a dirty lap on my timing screens. So just before the time ends, we'll have a look back over at the open walk of the wonderful circuit here in Monza. So as you can see, Monza, very, very fast track. Only a few corners to worry here, and then it's all completely flat foot for the rest of the way around. Track temp in game is 22 and 22 track, 5 km/h winds, but it does look like it is going to be dry out there. Everyone is headed their way back out onto the circuit right now as we head over into qualifying. So, information will be getting changed now, so car numbers will be coming off. Qualifying, personal best out, personal bests. Don't forget those first laps that will be coming in will be out as kink. We'll also have their qualifying delta times up as well for you. But it does look like Jaroslav is going to be the first car who's going to be on an out lap. So let's see what his first time is going to be when we start the next lap. So we'll ride on board with Jaroslav as he comes around Parabolica. It has been renamed, I do not name it renamed. I should have checked it beforehand. As we come on to our first flying lap, temperatures on the tyres will still be low. We won't be able to fully actual pressure just yet. All those lap times that come up as personal best on that is just that out lap time, including how long they're sat in the pits prior to the time change. As long as everyone keeps a clean lap this time around, it will be their personal bests. Very nice line there from Jaroslav. Into Lesmo 1. Using all the exit. That's where 2. Not quite on the apex. Using all the exit though, just like he should be. And banking. Head up to Ascari. Cutting much there, looks like getting a little bit more time for the cut. Not using all the exit there on the Ascari. sure that he's now out on pits as well. He's on his outlap. Just running very wide there. It's a parabolic. Trying to maximise his exit speed. Keep it as close as you can to the pit wall. Okay, best time, and his time is 1:58.7. Steve Richard 1:55, 1:59.55 behind. So Jarosław is getting out a bit at the moment. Natalie Lee, a 1:57.835. First flying lap, and absolutely sends a great lap. Cowell with a 2 minutes .05, 2 minutes flat, shall I say. Heiko, he is still on his outlap though. We'll switch over and have a look at our current fastest lap. Getting held by Natalie Lee. This looks like it could be, at the moment, pole. Using those sausage curves to get the car to turn around. Counting down on her time though. Celine Witcher, very slightly up, 0.4 up. Again, Heiko's time is not invalid at the moment, it is just, he's just started his first fastest lap. So his 8 minutes there is an outlap time, so nothing to worry about there. Looks like not gaining any time here, running it all the way to the outside just like we should be. Maximising as much track use as possible. So Celine looking at 1:59.0 here. So 1:58.9 for Celine. I'm looking over at Heiko. This will be his first fast lap. So, how can the Porsche do? There's a track that the Porsche is pretty good at. Mr. Cowell, he's just exiting pit lane. So I can show you the first fast lap coming out of the parabolica, coming across the line. Did not put a valid lap time in. So his last lap, even though it was invalid, was a 2 minutes .9. So that would have only had him in 5th place if it was a valid clean lap. Heiko spinning it in the first chicane. Very unlike Heiko. But it is all going on at the front of the grid here. Celine currently down on the time. Looking to gain it all on the exit, not gaining it. And Natalie Lee is up on their time. Only just behind. So as you can see here, it is all about trying to keep that momentum going. If you lose any type of momentum here, it can absolutely destroy your lap times. Celine Richard is up on lap time this lap time around. But look at this guys, look at the time that everyone is gaining here. It is bare minimum. Down to literally tenths of a second. So I can see today the start of today's race and the pits are going to be a massive priority to making this race, making the passes, because it looks like it's going to be a very, very tight on circuit. You get a good start, you gain maybe a couple of positions or gain some distance, and then you've got to wait to that 10-minute window at the halfway mark into this race to be able to change those tyres. You've got to make sure you have a great pit entry and a great stop itself. Make sure you're on your mark, so as soon as you stop, you go straight up onto your jacks, get your pit stops done. So let's see, Celine not doing a practice stop there. Is Jaroslav going to do a practice stop? No, he's stopping just inside the pit lane as well. Cal L, he's up on his lap time with 0.2 of a second at the moment. Expect him to gain a little bit more. He was saying earlier on that he was struggling with understeering the Mercedes. Mercedes is an understeering girl. The car likes to have a looser rear end, so it can help rotate. So raising the rear can help quite a bit in this car. So it's 0.6 up, so this is going to be a big improvement for Cal. 0.4 now. So this should put me in the 159s. Potentially 2 minutes, 0.1, so right on that cusp, but still time to gain there for him without Mercedes. Mercedes grunt here is a big factor. It can really work. Just getting it all right. Looks like that. Yeah, see, pushed it a bit too much. Lost it on the rear. So he's going to come back to pit lane. Celine Witcher currently down in 3rd place. Current points leader. Can she put herself onto the front row of the grid and make it an all-girl front row? We have seen so far in this season. Can we have another one this round? We'll have to see. But it is good seeing Natalie Lee back out on track with us. So as you can see, everyone who is currently on circuit now. Heiko Schubert, he's just started his lap. So everyone's on an out lap. Heiko's now onto a fast lap. Let's see how Heiko does. Really first chicane. Big improvement from him. Again, his lap times does not show us what his best is at the moment, so this is the best time at the moment, so it's still 8 minutes 60. Heiko losing it again through the chicanes. I think Heiko's got that car set up with nearly no traction control. As soon as he puts any power on, he is lighting that tyre out. The car is so unbalanced at that point because it's such a weight transfer area. It's absolutely destroying his run and destroying those tyres as well. He won't have a good line of tyre on that car anymore. He would have heavily brained him there. see Selena Witcher. See, look at that time, near enough dead equal to their best at the moment. So both have gained time through that. But so far, Justin Galcon is still behind. Both have a couple of attempts up, so we'll have to see how they do. Right, Heiko, you starting your lap, go for it, buddy. Keep the car together. Try to control the slides, don't let the car slide. Speed is up. Puts himself into second. 158.652. But Joseph Galkov right behind. Pushes her back down. 158.6. So, half a tenth between those two. That's nearly though, nearly 8/10 of a second faster. That's a big gap to gain. Count out. Let's see how the Mercedes is. I do believe he is on an outlap at the moment as well. Just trying to keep an eye on who is on a fast lap, who is on an outlap. Heiko Sherman is on a lap now. So let's have a look over at Heiko. Coming down towards Ascari. All Heiko needs to do is just put a lap in. And then he'll be able to see what his relative is, where he sits. Because at the moment, yes, he is sitting in last place, but he doesn't have a valid lap time to go off of. So Heiko coming out Parabolica, come up to the line. That's it, Heiko, that's more like it. 158.557. So, he jumps up instantly into second place. Selena Witcher goes faster than Jaroslav Galkov. Jaroslav now down into fourth place. And his lap time is not valid this lap, so let's just see where Jaroslav is out on track. Going from his delta, he is actually now on an outlap. Cal out, he's on a lap now. Let's see where he places. Can he get through his first chicane clean? I wonder if he's got a brake balance in that Mercedes a bit too far forward. So next season we'll have all new number boxes on the cars, all new sponsorships. Some of the drivers will have new liveries, some will have continuous liveries from our previous seasons. So we'll have to see how everyone does. Guys, don't forget, chat is open, feel free to say hi. And to say who you are looking for. Getting very loose there. I do believe he has his traction control wide open here. Doing a Heiko, running little distraction as possible. But he is down his time right now. Selena Witcher, they've pulled off this on the back straight. They won't get another lap in, so Selena is hoping that Jaroslav does not improve. So I do believe Cal L is going to be the only person to get another lap in. So let's see how the Mercedes gets on. He's up on his time at the moment, it's only just Heiko Schirmer, so top three are in the pits. So it's all down to Joseph Galkov. Can he get a massive improvement and potentially take another place or even take pole? As Cal L's getting off the power, so he's not going for another lap. So the only person who's going to maybe improve here is Jaroslav, and his lap time at the moment is consistent. It's not gaining any time. So it's all down to Jaroslav. Not getting the most nicest clean coming out of the second second Lesmo. Coming into Miscari, he's going to have to brake late. So gain time on the brakes. Cutting through nice. Can he improve? Very close to track limit cut there on the inside. So final corner. Can he just edge out? He just needs half a tenth. Half a tenth, that's all you need. Just have he's up by 3. And he will jump up into 3rd place. So cars are now on the grid. We've got a couple of minutes time now just till we are back live on circuit. So the track has dropped down by 1 degree. We'll bring back up the standing screen. So, as we have said, Celine Witcher down in 4th now though. That's our current point standings. So we'll go out through the grid. So we have Natalie on pole. Heiko Sherman in 2nd place. Joseph Galkov in 3rd. Celine Witcher in 4th. And Cal L in the Mercedes in 5th place. So like I said, track temperature has dropped down by 1 degree. So information you're getting now is, as you can see, it's being changed. So we have our cars' race numbers, we have their pits now showing, and the gaps during the race will be shown as well to you. As I said, track and air temp are down at 21 degrees. I do expect it to drop over the period of the race. So we will have to keep an eye out on that. So we're just waiting for our pit line to go green so we can start the formation lap. Again, GT4s, we do run a full formation lap. And also, next season, GT3s, you also will be having full formation laps. That is for GT European and GT America. You will have full formation laps. There is going to be no exceptions, including at Spa, what also we know is our longest lap time of the season. I do not know, I can't but remember if we have Spa on the series, but it is the longest lap time. So as Kenan's put in chat, good luck to everyone taking part. I have put a message in chats, obviously, as you might have seen, saying let's keep it clean as much as possible. Obviously, this is Monza. We could have a turn 1 incident as per usual. But every time we've raced here so far, turn 1, always good. Cal, try running maybe a little bit more traction control. Maybe run traction control 4 or 5. Because it does look like you're getting a little bit too loose on turn exits. It might help you. You've got a little bit of rotation coming in. That's perfect, good. But then it's trying to control that slide. That little bit of extra traction control may give you a hand. Cars are now firing up on the grid, so we've got under 30 seconds remaining now until we get rolling. There we go, cars are now rolling off the grid. On their formation lap, trying to get as much temperature into these tyres as possible. So, using that brake drag just to try to generate temperature in the brakes, because that's going to be the main important thing here over your tyre temps, is having your brakes up to temperature for that turn 1 chicane, because that will decide if you're going to stop or not, or you're going to have a big accident with everyone else. So we will keep an eye on turn 1. We do have our race control app working today, so we should be able to keep an eye on any instances. So it is currently 7 PM in game. We do expect this to go until 8 o'clock in game. So we may see some weather changing. We may see some, obviously we'll see the darkness starting to roll in here at Monza. Just going through Lesmo. So yes, weaving can help your tyres, but overweaving can also, as well as doing burnouts, can cause your tyres to have overgraining on them. So you only want to do a little bit of each. Do a little bit of a burnout at the start when you're rolling off the grid, and a little bit of weaving. Mostly you just start just like accelerate, brake, accelerate, brake, accelerate, brake. So the best ways to generate tyre temp and brake temp. Like I said, brake temp is a big thing that you will need to keep an eye on, especially at a track like this, because having the long straights, your brakes will cool down quite a bit, but then you'll be braking heavily. So having those brake dumps at the right timing is just what you're looking for. You don't want brakes to get too cold and get onto them, because then you'll have low performance at the start. But you also don't want them too hot at the start when you hit the brakes, because then you'll start burning your brakes, and then they'll lose friction as you're trying to slow down as well. So too hot brakes, bad idea. Too cold brakes, also not a good idea. So some of the other drivers who are live right now, Natalie Lee, she is actually live over on Twitch. So if you want to see the race from her perspective, go and give her a hi, say good luck. Again, the main broadcast is here and will be through to the end. So cars now double file. Make sure you're in that box, ladies and gentlemen, as far forward as possible. The more forward you are, means you're going to be really up close. The car in front, trying to get that launch as perfect as possible. Remember, 70 kilometers an hour, you don't want to speed, or you will be penalised by the game. Front rows side by side, and we are about to go green as soon as we hit the line, and we are underway. So, Jaroslav Galkov's got a nice run here behind Natalie. Is he going to try and make it 3 wide into the first corner? He is. We're going to try and make it 3 wide. Cal already getting past Celine. Count out. Oh, contact here. Still more contact going on between the back runners. Count out is trying to wait for Jaroslav to get back past him. Up in front, Natalie Lee pulling away already from Heiko Sherman. Heiko was also having to avoid some of the incidents there at the start. Celine does have some damage to her front end, so we'll have to go have a look. Let's have a look from the helicopter camera, just so we can try to see what exactly happened here. So, 3 wide. Oh, Cal just getting onto the throttle a bit too hard and getting into the back of Jaroslav Galkov now. On the exit. Up in front, as we said, it's Natalie pulling it away. There will be a time penalty being applied to Cal out. We'll stick with the first lap and see how everyone's getting on at the start. Did let Jaroslav back pass, so there will be. Don't know if there'll be a time penalty because he did give us time back, did give the place to him, so it'll be a heavy warning. Car's now going to want to stay out as long as possible, try to gain all this time back. As I said, this track is going to be one that's going to take that into really hard decisions. So next half an hour, as you can see, track is going to stay green. Just minimise that as much as possible for you. Actually, we will have to give time anyway. So, bear with me 1 minute, so we'll just do the commands. TP, 5C, 93. He will have to serve 5 seconds extra in his pit stop. Game view, so you can just kind of see the race. So out in front is Natalie. As you can see, already got quite a gap now. Heiko Sherman, 3-second gap. Everyone's spaced about actually 3 seconds apart. Cal, who was an extra 1 second back. Heiko's running out. Gear, let it roll. So actually leaving fastest lap in race so far, 1:59.0. Steve back up into third. I was just going to say a very poor start, but worked out okay. She got a little bit caught up in the incident between Jaroslav and Cal. To keep just power going. So fortunately for Jaroslav, this is 2 races this season that he has spun around in the first, actually technically it's turn 2 of both tracks. The first one being at Snitterton, today on the second part of that chicane. still Natalie Lee. Pulling the gap, currently half a second on her best lap time. So she's extending that lead away from Heiko Schur. Justin Galkov though, he is catching Celine very slowly. Wow, is that KTM of Natalie Lee? There's a new fast lap on 1:58.700. Heiko Sherman on 1:59.8 on his last time, so losing off his best time there by 6/10. KTM, when it's here, is definitely one of the more balanced cars, it looks like, in this BOP session. So you can see that KTM is definitely absolutely planted here at Monza. So I can show it in the background there now. Also, top 4 you can see just in the background here now. Caroline's a little bit too far back, unfortunately, to be seen. Can't get that Mercedes up there. So Joseph Galkov is catching Celine. Ooh, Natalie getting a little bit too loose there over that bump. Inside of Ascari. Didn't lose much time, but Joseph Galkov is nearly right up behind Celine. Just 2 seconds back. Just to continue as we go over the remaining races of this season. We obviously are at round 9 at Monza. Next round is round 10 at the Nürburgring. We'll be heading over to America for the 11th penultimate round at Indianapolis. And then we'll be heading down to South Africa and Kailani for the final round of the season. That will be on the 25th of November. And then round 1 for GT Europe will be, here at Monza for round 1. We'll be back here at Monza. That will be on the 6th of January at 8 PM UTC. And then for European drivers who are going to be taking part on January 7th. US time zone will be on January 6th, so still on the Friday, at 2 AM UTC, or it should be around 6 PM West Coast time, or Mountain time. I'm not 100% sure on the times. You can always check this out on Simracing GP. GT America Season 2 Round 1 will be at Circuit of the Americans. So round 1 for GT European will be at Monza, round 1 for GT America will be at Kota. And they will both be on the 5th of January for the Americans. Obviously 1 day later on the Saturday, early hours of the morning for the GT America series. Just looking like he's just trying to gain too much by cutting. It's just holding him at 2 second marks, not letting him catch up. Also guys, if you are part of the Simpit Patreon, our next Patreon race is going to be on the 26th of November. So it'll be the day after our final round of this championship. So keep an eye on that. Information will be posted up in the Simpit Discord Patreon chat, so keep an eye on that. The event has been set up, so being sure to have discussed and Terry, I should say, and all the rest of the staff have discussed what we're going to be doing for the next round. So keep an eye on that for next season, for next Patreon race. Me and Sean have also discussed what the next Patreon race after that would. So we have a lot of information that we're going to keep away from your little eyes right until we give you all the information that's needed. Remember to sign up for the Simpit ACC GT European Series and GT America Series. Both joint passwords are in the Discord. As you have to be in the Discord so you can be able to see the rulebook. So you'll be able to find the joint password to be able to sign up. Without that joint password, you will not be able to sign up for the races. So make sure you are in the Discord. As I said, for GT America, all three available Mercedes AMG GT3s are already selected. That's just on that, getting a better run, but out in front now by 5.4 seconds. That's the lead, running away from Heiko Schumann here. As we see Natalie now with her headlights on. It is getting darker here at the Nürburgring. Sorry, that's next week at Monza. So we are just over 12 minutes away from pit lane opening up for 10 minutes. Heiko making an absolute mess of the first chicane back there. Cost him about a whole second to Natalie. So we see Celine Richard 3.6 seconds back from Heiko, but Jaroslav Galkov only 1.8 seconds behind her. So I think the race here is going to be for 3rd and 4th place. So this will help Heiko close the gap to Celine, but I do believe that without missing any rounds, Celine can near enough wrap up the championship here now. As we come down the back straight, I'll bring up the standards just very quickly so you can have a look. So just have definitely gained in time for that. 1.5 seconds back now. So as you see, Celine Richard 179 points to Heiko's 147. Remember, it's 25 points for a race win. For 2nd place, it's 18 points. 3rd place is 15. 4th, it's 12. For 5th place, you get 10 points. 6th place, 8. 7th, you get 6. 8th place will get you 4 points. 9th will get 2 points. And 10th will get you 1 point. So, pretty much just showing up for a race, you will gain points. Unless we have absolutely all drivers turn up for a race. Then only 3 drivers will not get points. So we see Joseph just back again through the first chicane. So many points are to play for here. That McLaren with Jaroslav Galkov. Cal Elm still falling back, 10 seconds behind Jaroslav. And he still has that 5-second penalty as well from the first corner incident at the start. That's even now 7-second lead from Heiko Schumann. That's the 11th dominant run for Natalie. She has a ride for the races. Natalie, very clean, very technical with the lines. Going to stay very consistent on laps. A little bit loose. So Heiko Sherman does have the fastest first sector, 37.885. But then sectors 2 and 3 go to Natalie Lee. Sector 2 at 41.460, and then sector 3 38.617. Potential fastest lap at the moment on these sectors that we're seeing is in 1:57.9 constant battle zone. Potentially 4 seconds can be gained. So we're still go which seconds she came, looking much smoother this time. Justin Galkov still 1.8 seconds behind Sleep. Looks like he's getting very snappy there, coming off the chicane. The second Lesman. Cal Elm showing as a white flag. I do believe that might be a false information though. It's cleared instantly. So we can clear through that. I'm just going to have a quick look at the game. You can see there's only one penalty, and that is just to Cal Elm with a 5-second penalty. Currently 8 laps into the race. Let's start our 9th lap now. Natalie absolutely flying around now. Okay, another 158 that last lap. Everyone else in the 159s. Well, Cal, who unfortunately is still within 2 minutes lap times. So just 6 minutes now until pit lane opens. Guys, if I do sound unwell, it's because winter's kicking in and my sinus issue gets 5 times worse than normal, so it does make it a little bit harder. Natalie goes a little bit right there. Coming out the first Lesmo, stepping onto the rumble, using all the Astros turf. I can see he's sliding a lot there. Joseph Galkov, he's falling back again from Celine. So we've seen him gaining, we see him losing. Occasionally his lap time's good, sometimes he falls off. Currently Celine 0.1 of a second up on her best lap time. Jaroslav 0.4 of a second down on his best. As you can see, it is getting darker out here now. As we look at the board of Natalie Lees, they cross the line for another wee lap. To 158.4. So that's only 1/10 off their fastest lap so far. Heiko with a 2-minute lap time there. Celine Richard with a 159.3. Jaroslav Galkov on 159.4. Celine absolutely trying the hardest to get rid of Jaroslav and catch Heiko. But out front, teammate from Turbo Valkyrie, Natalie Lee, is just going, you guys, you can stay as your lap times, you are all staying just about 1 second off my lap time, please. It's absolutely dominating in this KTM. Jaroslav just sitting, falling back again. Just about to say, just sticking with Celine, just in that time frame where it starts picking up, saying like, okay, we're gonna have a battle here. But Natalie Lee absolutely running away with this. Just gonna have a look at the weather. Weather's staying optimum for the next 30 minutes, so if it is gonna rain or have any type of chance to change, it's going to be in the very last now 10 minutes of the race, if it does happen at all. I do not expect it to happen. The weather does look like it's meant to be clear for the remainder of the race. But KTM is absolutely flying around here. Another one, 58.8. This group is slightly getting tighter now. See what Heiko's this lap will be from Heiko. 2 minutes, 0.1. Celine on 1:59.6. Jaroslav on 1:59.4. So, all these three cars here are starting to get closer and closer all together. Count out in that Mercedes though, really struggling. 19 seconds now back from Jaroslav Galkov. Mercedes is one car you have to get absolutely right, or it will absolutely bite you and make your race really hard. So Jaroslav losing more time again behind. Shows white flags again, but that's just as he's making steady through his chicanes. It looks like he is struggling in that Mercedes. The one person who's definitely not struggling is Miss Natalie Lee now, a 10-second lead. With 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining till pit window opens, so by the time she goes around this corner next time by, pits will be open. Count out, showing his yellow flags. He is still going though, so I'm gonna wait for that to show up. And this group here is getting tighter. But there we go, another no time. Heiko into the 1:59 zeros. Celine on 1:59.4, so actually gaining time with that time away. And Jaroslav on 1:59.6, so that gap that we've seen closed last lap actually increased this lap. So it is back at Heiko misses the first chicane. Well, that is not what we expected there. Heiko missing the first chicane. Just getting his braking point wrong. This Count shows his yellow flags again on track. Count's coming into the pits. He's got 16 seconds to wait. So he's broken the beam too early. Count has broken the beam for his pit stop too early. I do not believe his pit stop will count. We will have to see. But pit window is now open. Car is in pit lane. Till now, 2 seconds to this point, right behind Celine, who's also 2 seconds behind me. Cal, oh, you don't have enough fuel. As you were literally that close to the mark, if it does come up with a pit lane penalty, don't worry. I can tell you are taking your pit stop, so remain out if it says it has not cleared, okay? Stay out on track, don't worry about having to come back in. So Natalie in pit lane, Jaroslav Galkov in pit lane as well. So Cal, if as you are in the chat note to here, if your pit stop does not come up as a valid pit stop, do not re-pit. It will be perfectly fine. As we can see that you, as you said, you had run out of fuel, you literally had to get in that pit there and then. It's only broken by a couple of seconds. And also having that 5-second penalty as well, it would be unfair to penalise you automatically. The game will say that you haven't registered your pit stop. It'll only give you a time penalty at the end of the race, so keep going, hold on to this 5th place, because that will give you points at the end of this race. So Matthew Lee coming out the pits. Valid pit stop from her. Jaroslav Galkov still on pit lane. Valid pit stop from him as well. We will kick into game. Jaroslav Galkov. A drive-through penalty for speeding in pit lane, as we always do. We will reduce that down to a time penalty of 15 seconds. So I need to change that for him as we speak. That is going to take Jaroslav out of this battle for the front. It's a bit massive shame for him. Heiko showing he's now exiting pit lane as well. Showing he's now out of pit lane. So only 2 cars have not completed their pit stop by in-game, and that's Celine Witcher and Cal L. Obviously Cal could not take his pit, do another lap to get into that pit window. Unfortunately underfueled his car just a little bit too much. And he also had a 5-second penalty, so we're not making him come back into the pits again due to that cause. But he will get a time penalty at the end of the race. That is mandatory by game. I cannot clear, but being in 5th place and at the back of the grid, unfortunately, will keep him there anyway, so I will have to adjust the points at the end of the race. But Heiko Sherman to Jaroslav Galkov, look at the gap, 10 seconds. These two were only split by 4 seconds before the pits. And don't forget, Jaroslav Galkov also has that 15-second time penalty at the end of the race now as well. So pit window is only open for another 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So Celine Richard still has another 4 minutes from now to take that pit stop. Don't forget, all they need to do is change tyres. They don't need to refuel unless they've split their fuel. So, last lap. It's Natalie racking it up on 1:59.0. Not her fastest lap, but again, another very fast lap for Celine. Sorry, not Celine. Celine was on 1:59.6 though. Are they going to come in this lap for their pit stop? Nope, stretch it out. So as soon as Celine Richard takes the pit stop, I'll take it off the screen for mandatory stops. As we all know, that Cal did make his pit stop, he just had to come into the pits just a couple of seconds early due to being too short on fuel. And he already had a 5-second penalty for the collision in turn 1. So from the stats that I have gained from other communities and also from Sim Racing GP, we are the smallest community with obviously drivers taking part who actually have live stewarding during the race. A lot of them don't have live stewarding, using a little bit of after race stewarding, and that's it. Some leagues that are higher up don't even have after race stewarding. So we do have live stewarding. Yes, it's done by myself. Staying consistent with our rules of what is valid for a penalty and what is not. So Celine Richard will have to pit this lap because they were not going to get around in time before pit window closes. As you can see, Natalie still with that purple lap time on 1:58.452. Down perfectly onto the pit limiter. Cat L's there, we'll see in the background just coming through. So, Celine in the pit lane. Where is Heiko going to come? Are they going to be side by side? We'll have to see. This is going to be the battle now. Heiko 13 seconds now back from Celine, from Natalie, sorry. So used to through the season being it Natalie and Celine and Heiko. I do apologise, I'm getting everything confused tonight. So this is going to be second and third. Let's see where Celine is in pits. Still sat on pit road at the moment. Heiko is going to make it back past. As Celine exits the pit, hits the pit line, it's obviously Heiko come past. So it's going to be about a 4-second to 5-second gap after the first chicane. Don't forget, Heiko's tyres are going to be up to pressure. as we see Celine in the background there, if the camera would snap us. Those cold tyres did not slow up whatsoever. So that's put Heiko up into second place. So we are, as we will, before pit stops, but the times have increased drastically between them. So I'll go to game just to make sure. So Celine Witcher's pit stop was valid and clean, no speeding for her. So now it's a straight race to the finish. Pit window is now closed, but as we said, all drivers have took their pit stops. Cal Els being just outside that pit window, unfortunately for him. Callum, you're meant to be racing in this race, buddy. Obviously, we still haven't set up your motor for ACC. So naturally, that KTM pulling away each lap. $159.2 for Natalie and $159.7 for Heiko. Celine lap was an out lap, so that will be equal to everyone else, but that was only 3 minutes 2 seconds in total. Jaroslav Galkov's last lap was a 159.932. Again, he has a 15-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. It was in game standardly a driver penalty. He dropped that down to a 15-second penalty, especially at a track like Monza, where the lap times are so short. That could be absolutely drastic. But the worst one you could get at overall is Spa-Francorchamps, with just the pit lane time alone being at 90 seconds from in and out. So Celine Richard 6.6 seconds back from Heiko. Can she claw that gap back and take more points away from Heiko? Or is Heiko going to start just gain a few more points than Celine today and slowly catch that gap back up in the championship standings? Out in front, absolutely having an easy race for them. There's Miss Natalie Lee, nearly 13 seconds to Heiko, bagging another 158.9 that last lap, averaging about a second a lap past him. Saying that, Heiko showing a 158.7 out of Heiko, gaining 2 tenths on Natalie that last lap. And is only now 4 tenths off of taking the lap, current fast lap away from Natalie Lee. Also guys, through the middle of the next season, I'm going to put a poll out. Not for what cars will race next season, well, sorry, the season after that, but to see if we do a extra 1 point for fastest lap. Not going to put it out for this season coming up, so that will be season 4 this season, where it's obviously GT World Challenge, where it's going to be changed to GT European. And GT America will be on season 2, so season 3 and season 5 that we may apply that fastest lap extra point. We will have to see. Again, it will be down to a community vote. We'll bring that up way longer down the line. But Celine Witcher is 5.9 behind Heiko Sherman. But that's like only 1/10, not even 1/10 behind, 2 thousandths of a second behind Heiko Sherman. That KTM is absolutely sticking on this track, 15 seconds now. As it pulls out of the final turn, coming across the start line. Don't forget, Sleep does have some damage to that front end on the first corner incident that happened between Kal-El and Jaroslav Galkov. Unfortunately, Sleep not getting the best launches off the grid. Got swallowed up, and then in the first corner, having that little incident. If you weren't here at the start, I apologise. Give me 1 second. This wasn't the replay from the start. As you can see, Kal-El making a great dive from 5th in the grid, just accidentally hitting into Jaroslav Galkov, and then Celine had nowhere to go but bumping into him. She had some front end damage. Kal-El did let Jaroslav back past, but it did take Jaroslav out of that possible second place, so he was awarded a 5-second penalty. There was a little bit of netcode after the contact, that does happen. That happened already previously. Kal-El is coming into pit lane. What's that? No. Kal-El is staying out. It just, the entrance point was getting taken into effect, even though it was not needed. But Kal-El for 420 Motorsport, Nicholas Batista for 420 Motorsport, and myself are all going to be in the Mercedes for GT America next season. So if you were looking to sign up for GT America and be in the Mercedes, unfortunately all the cars have already been selected. Kal-El is still bolting his way around, not giving up, making sure to get those 5th place points. So that will net him another 10 points in the championship. Jaroslav Galkov, he's looking for 12 points this race. Celine Witcher at the moment will get 15. Heiko Sherman will get 18 points, and Natalie Lee getting 25 points will give her a good bump up in the standings. So Natalie will jump up to 70 points, so that will put her back up into 4th place in the championship as it stands, and Heiko will gain a little bit more gap to Celine, but it will be very tight now for Heiko Sherman to be able to win the championship. It all will come down to the next round. If Celine has a very good performance, I do believe that it will be out of reach for Heiko Sherman. As we enter the last 15 minutes of the race now. Track temp has now dropped down to 20 degrees temp, 20 degrees track temp. So we have lost that 1 degree in track temp. The guys and girls have made sure that cars were ready for that during the pit stop. Heiko just keeping the gap now at 5.1 seconds to Celine. Jaroslav Galkov, yes, he is 7 seconds behind Celine, but has a 15-second time penalty. Remember, speeding in pit lane. Game automatically makes it a drive-through. We drop that down to 15 seconds. But one person who has been perfectly fine from the start is Miss Natalie Lee. 16-second lead now to Heiko Sherman in 2nd place. KTM is absolutely flying away. So as we said, racing into the darkness here. Natalie went a little bit wide again. As we see Heiko Fjord coming into letter 1. Natalie already on her way down to the Scary chicane, so you can tell how much of a gap she's already pulling away. Which is just there in the background from Heiko. Cal showing us a yellow flag on track. Going very, very, very deep into the parabolica. As Natalie puts another new fastest lap in that last lap around with a 1:58.767. That last lap though, dropping well off, down to a 2 minutes lap time. Figuring out the pace that she's doing at the moment, she can stick on that 2 minute lap time and still comfortably win this race. So 12 minutes, 13 minutes to go. So drivers who weren't using shadows as their braking point completely lost them now as they've gone down into the darkness. We'll have a look from Celine's on board. You see how dark it has got on the circuit from what we started as. Begging to catch up to Heiko, but that last lap, 1 second slower. Heiko Sherman. Just seeing that in the distance. Just want to see his brake lights. Brakes now into parabolica. Inside of Heiko Sherman with that number 1 plate on the car, will he be able to keep it for next season? It's going to be very, very, very tight for him to be able to. As Jaroslav Galkov is coming into the pits with 10 minutes remaining. Mentioned Jaroslav Galkov got a drive-through penalty for track limits, and he still has his 15-second time penalty for his already having a drive-through. But again, track limits is one, like we said, we are not counting ourselves. Track limits are going to be made in-game. So Cal L, you do have a possibility here of taking 4th place away from Jaroslav You just got to gain 35 seconds on him. And then deduct that 15, so you need roughly right this second. She's saying that the times are screwing up on me right now. There was a closer gap. So yes, at the moment our timing screens are trying to balance themselves out. I cannot tell you by the times that they are jumping from 1 minute to 10 seconds down to 20 seconds, so I can't unfortunately give you the correct information. But Cal L, you do have the race leader Natalie Lee closing down behind you. Stick to your racing line if you can hear me. Remember, stick to your racing line. It's down to the faster drivers to go around you. Not for you to get out of the way. If you stick to your racing line, they know where you are going to be. They may flash you to just give you a heads up that they are there. That's perfectly fine. But it's not a way to go, oi, move, you're on my line. They must go around you. So stick to your line, Cal, and you will be all perfectly fine. Last lap time. So that's the only 2 tenths off of her best lap time for 1:58.9. Heiko now sitting back at 2 minutes last lap. So was Celine. But all it takes is track limit penalties for any of these top 3 now. And it's going to turn this race on its head with under 10 minutes to go. We're at literally just about to come up to 7 minutes remaining. So at the line, we're going to have 7 minutes and 9 seconds remaining. This is going to get tight. Who's crossing the line. So the gap plus below that is 7 seconds. We're on board with Natalie for the next couple of laps. Let's go a little too deep in the second chicane. I see now flashing cam just to let him know that she's coming up. Cal does not have to move. It's his track as well as nothing. The faster car has to make movement. Getting a little bit wrong. I would have wanted him to continue, but I think he did make the corner intentionally, unfortunately, incorrect. I did throw him wide. At the 5 minutes remaining mark. Just 5 more minutes for these drivers to go, and then they'll have another week off. Right up until we go live next weekend, next Friday. Back at the normal time for our American drivers. I know timings are a bit confusing because they're in Our clocks went back last Sunday. Yours go back this Sunday. So that could be quite confusing for our guys and girls. But next week we'll be back at normal times. So it still won't be 8 PM UK. It will be back to what your time is in America as well. The Simpit news is normally at 5 PM UK time. Today it was at 4 PM our time, purely for the fact that we've already changed our clocks back. So all these drivers are having to do a race an hour earlier in the States than normal. I believe it's an hour earlier or an hour later. No, it's an hour later. I do apologise. So everyone knows my timing is not the greatest. And that's why all events are on Simulation GP, posted up as UTC as UK times, but will also have your time zone showing on the server information and what it will be at UTC, Universal Time Clock, also known as GMT, but obviously UK switches from GMT to BST, and we've just gone back to GMT. So as we know, America's still on daylight time. Standard time will be kicking in for next week. So 2 minutes 35 seconds remaining. Natalie absolutely running away with this. A 20-second lead from Heiko Schuren. P2, Celine Richard in P3, 5.9 seconds back from Heiko. Jaroslav Galkov having a drive through the track limits, as well as a 15-second after race penalty. So we will have to count how close the time is between Jaroslav Galkov crossing the line and Cal L crossing the line. But I do believe Cal L is got Jaroslav Galkov just behind him, so Natalie lead there, going off course. Very unlike Natalie there for a scarring. So even with Jaroslav, 2 penalties, Cal L will unfortunately still be behind him. As we come up to the final lap of the race, Natalie Lee about to start the final lap. Well, Natalie, as she crosses the line to start the last lap. Reverse chicane, one last time. Into the second chicane. Into Lesbo one. Like a lot of understeer there. To Lesbo 2 for the final time, yeah. Now getting oversteer on the exit. Race clock has now come to 0, so we are officially final lap. You can see that clock on her dashboard. Final lap of the race. Sky for the final time. 29 laps down. 29 laps on absolute domination here for Natalie. Down to Parabolica. Final turn. And it will be a first time win for Natalie this season. Natalie taking the win. Congratulations to Natalie. Heiko Sherman, he's coming across the line to take second place. Celine Butcher coming home in third, keeping that championship lead though. Fourth and fifth are quite a way back to go. But there's your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Lee. Fireworks going off in the background. So congratulations to Natalie on the win. That's her first win of the season. Our third winner this year, other than Heiko and Celine. As you see Heiko there coming past, giving the flash in the headlights. Natalie also giving the flash to say, well done. This will be her teammate Celine, which is coming up now, going past as well. So Kautel has cross lines just off Galkov. He still needs to finish the race. Jaroslav Galkov will cross the line in fourth place. So, very eventful race, especially with the incident at the start between Jaroslav Galkov, Kautel and Celine Richard. And then Jaroslav getting a drive-through penalty at the pit stops. What gets reverted down to a 15-second penalty, but then getting another drive-through penalty for track limits. Kautel in game would get a time penalty for not serving his pit stop in the mandatory window, but unfortunately he was 1 lap short of fuel. He needed that pit stop to open, but he entered the pit lane just literally 3 seconds too early, but had no choice on the matter to break into that pit window. But guys, my name is M.Vowles. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week at Nürburgring. So take care. We'll see you next time.